All right, everyone, welcome back into another NFL DFS video. Going to be touching on the top plays that we have in week 15. So let's go ahead and start out with the quarterback position. This is a week in which it's tough. I don't feel the need to pay up at the quarterback spot. Now, the top highest priced quarterbacks on the slate are going to be Josh Allen and Dak Prescott in the highest game total on the week. And really, there's going to be two games that we really want to target. It's going to be the Commanders-Rams game, potentially the Niners-Cardinals game. That's going to be a higher scoring game for the Niners. I'll get into that. But really, it's this Dallas-Buffalo game. And so that really is why they're the highest priced players. I just don't know if we need to go out of our way to pay up for them. Like, we got Brock Purdy in a pretty good spot going against that Cardinals defense. I fully expect him to continue to play well. Like, we've had, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 out of 6 last games have been stud games. The one that wasn't was a game that was kind of just a blowout right away. And so, yeah, all in all, I think he's a good candidate to have a good game. But to me, maybe we go with Blake Bortles here and hope that we can continue to get the sloppy production. I kind of joke, but man, the way that Sam Howell has been able to be productive is kind of crazy. 4 rushing touchdowns over his past 3 games. I mean, it can't really bank on that. At the same time, that's a high scoring game against the Rams. That could continue. You got Matthew Stafford in a very good spot against Washington. Stafford played 3 really great games in a row, and against the Browns and the Baltimore Ravens, like, that to me is very impressive. Like, against Arizona, you would expect that, but 3 really good games in a row. His offense is back, ready to go. Kyron Williams is healthy. That's really helping him out. And for now, I've kind of been defaulting to him, but don't get me wrong, Jordan Love is right there as well, guys. Going against Tampa Bay, that's going to be a very good spot for him as well. You look at the season, he's really only had 2 bad games. One kind of last week, you know, that fumble was sloppy. That whole team was just, it was a bad game. That was a game that you write off. Just too many mistakes being made. And if you guys have been following the channel, you know I've been kind of harping on how many just dumb mistakes the Packers have watched. You guys saw it front hand in that game, and you probably saw it front hand in the game against the Chiefs, what they look like when they're not making. So all in all, I do really love the upside that Love presents, but to me, it's choosing between those 3 or Brock Purdy. Some people might go to Will Levis. I wouldn't talk you out of that, but I'm not going to talk you into it. Zach Wilson, somewhat interesting at that price tag, but all in all, to me, I'm going with Matthew Stafford at the quarterback position. Moving on into the running backs, a lot of people are going to be trying to get to CMC. Not going to say that's wrong. It's going to be a super safe play. I think we all know that. Kind of got hurt by not scoring a touchdown last week. All in all, it's going to happen. If you can afford to pay up for him, I think that you should. But like last week, I feel like Kyron Williams is just being super disrespected with the pricing this whole season. In a very good spot going against Washington, 25 carries last week, 29 opportunities total. He kind of makes this offense go. So in a weird way, I don't know if we want to start out with Stafford, Kyron Williams. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So maybe go Jordan Love instead. But I do think like one of those two you definitely want in your main build for the week. From there, Devon Achane and also Mostert are both questionable. Achane was a non-participant. Mostert was a limited participant. If Tyreek Hill is going to be banged up, if Tyreek Hill is going to be limited at all, I think we're going to continue to see Mostert rushing the football a bunch. He looked really good in that game last week. Like, that was his best game in quite some time. He's going to be in a very intriguing play, even at 7.1. Like, sure, this rushing touchdown stuff is not going to continue, but it is a very good matchup against the Jets. That being said, we got Rachaad White in a very good matchup going against the Green Bay Packers. We can see he has been someone that's getting a healthy dosage of opportunities as well. And against a great matchup against the Packers, to me, I'm fine ending up on him. And that's where, like, it's going to be tough for me to pay up for CMC because right away we got a bunch of really good options. Bijan Robinson's been playing about 70% of the snaps, gets the Carolina Panthers. That's been an offense that we've been wanting to attack this whole season as well. So again, like, we got 3 awesome running back plays. I would say, I haven't even mentioned Saquon Barkley, who had a very good game. You could end up on him. You got Zeke playing like 90% of the snaps, getting 30 opportunities. I want to play him as well, even in that matchup against the Chiefs. That's a smash spot for him. Very cheap price tag for him. We saw Devin Singletary go back into kind of what we saw from him. Well, Dameon Pierce was out. He had himself a good game, not a great game, probably a little bit too thin. I wouldn't be surprised to see CH get a little bit more work in this game as well. Like, we just have a plethora of options, and I do think that this could be a week in which we are trying to go out of our way to play 3 running back. Moving on into the receivers, CeeDee Lamb, very much a pay-up play. I don't know if I want to roll with that. I will say the discrepancy in price between Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp is kind of strange to me. Like, I would have thought that these two would have just been, 7.5. Both, all in all, I think taking the price discount on Puka makes a lot of sense compared to Cooper Kupp. All in all, they're both going to make for great plays. Can we afford them? That's going to be the biggest issue. That's my biggest question mark on the slate. Terry McLaurin in that very high scoring game, coming in off of a game in which he had 0 receptions, kind of feels like a correction spot. Kind of feels like a spot in which they might force feed him the football, and all in all, they probably are going to have to. I would say that playing Matthew Stafford and or Kyron Williams and then pairing that up with McLaurin does make a lot of sense. So if Watson is out, we might have to play Romeo Doubs and or potentially Jaden Reed. I think we're going to expect Jaden Reed to play again. Reed had some fluky production. Sure, he scored that rushing touchdown. That was awesome. Don't get me wrong. But 5 of his receptions last week were just pop. And it's clear that Matt LaFleur likes him, but it's also clear that we can't expect that production. Now, Wicks is someone that got injured at the end of the game. And if he sits, we might just see a lot more Jaden. Okay. If he sits, though, we might see Malik Heath gained 60%. So there is still a lot of big question marks there for the Green Bay Packers receivers. We could be getting a min-price pretty good play, like someone playing 60% of the snaps. You saw Malik Heath make that awesome touchdown. That's not shocking for anyone that was following along during the preseason. Wicks would be a very good play if he's healthy and ready to go. Limited participants. I think he would be someone that we would want to look at. And then Jaden Reed, again, I'm probably going to play him for now, but I don't love it. A lot of that production was fluky. Let's just make that very clear. From there, we continue on. I actually want to jump back to Amari Cooper, guys. I really like Amari Cooper this week going against that Bears defense. 14 targets last week. Going against the Jaguars, a pretty decent defense. 7 receptions. He feels like a very safe. So Lynn Bowden actually played the most snaps for the Saints receiver-wise. Now, I think we're expecting Shaheed to be back. And if Shaheed is back, I probably will end up on him at that price tag. But we also got to mention that Chris Olave did not participate on Thursday. If he would be someone that were to sit, that would make Shaheed and probably Lynn Bowden Jr. a decent play. For now, I'm going to put in Shaheed, expecting him to start because they just need a pass catcher to play, and he'd be the one I would want to target. And then I do want to mention, obviously, if we had news that Tyreek Hill is out, Waddle would be someone that typically would get a bump. I'm actually curious as to if Braxton Berries would be a good candidate. Going against his former team, you look at receivers that are successful. Going against the Jets, it's kind of those receivers that move around a lot, and he'd be the receiver that would be moving around in the offense. Maybe someone we're looking at the minimum price, but probably not someone we want to go crazy with, obviously. That's really predicated on Tyreek Hill being in or out. And for now, that's it. I think we can come back to the receiver spot depending on how much salary we have left over. Let's move on into the tight ends. Tight ends, it's weird. Like all the great tight end plays that we're really getting on the slate are taking place on Saturday. Logan Thomas is in a good spot. Don't get me wrong. I don't expect that from Hunter Henry again. Really, the easy click is Tucker Kraft playing basically every single snap over the last 3 weeks. Looks really good doing it. Such a cheap price tag. Great matchup going against the Titans. That is the spot that I want to get to the most. And to me, that's kind of the no-brainer. But yeah, other than that, not that much that I love tight end-wise, guys. Like very rough other than that. Defensively, you guys know by now I don't really care to start out the week. I typically go with the min price, trying to pay up as the week progresses. For now, I'll just put the Jets in there. If Tyreek Hill's out, I'm kind of fine with that. 8K left over, and this is where, sure, we could go Cooper Kupp here. I'm fine with it. Again, I think I'd rather go to Puka Nacua so we could find a way to pay up elsewhere, and maybe we go, I don't know, Brock Purdy instead. Can we fit Brock Purdy in there, or was he a little bit priced up? He was. That's unfortunate, but all in all, it doesn't matter. We can see kind of the way we can navigate the lineup process for week 15. Now, that was going to be all for this video. Quick, easy one there for you guys. Make sure to give a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the coverage. Appreciate you guys being here. Good luck this week. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's keep cashing.